Thanks for coming. Today's webinar is brought to you by the Women's Business Center and is being sponsored by the SBA, the Professional Women's Network, and the Governor's Office of Business and Economic Development. Their generosity allows us to offer this webinar and our free mentoring services to you at no charge. Thank you, sponsors. All right. I am going to share our, just to tell you a little bit about who we are. I'll share a little video. It's 90 seconds.
As an entrepreneur, I can tell you, I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't because of the Women Business Center.
We're getting all of these wonderful services, whether they're classes, courses, virtual workshops, one-on-one consulting and mentoring for free. It's invaluable.
The consultants at the Women's Business Center are just amazing people, very caring people too, I've noticed. They all seem to be really empathetic and really kind, and they're really professional, like they're actually doing these things in their own lives and they're making a living at it.
The Women's Business Center was really important for us when we were trying to make a decision on whether to relocate to the Central Coast. Coming to a small area like this, we didn't know if we would have professional resources or connections available. So we utilized the services of the Women's Business Center to help us learn about the community.
If I have any questions, if I have doubts, opening a business is not easy. But if you have the right support and the right consultant who's gonna be there with you, then there is no fear because they are there for you.
Who has that? Like, how lucky am I to have that opportunity to have so much help given to me and so many people that want me to succeed. And they're all really nice to me too. I love that place.
All right. She's so cute. All right, I'm just going to launch a 30-second poll so we can find out how you heard about us, and then we will go ahead and get started.
My name is, there we go. So my name is Chris. I'm based here in Los Angeles. I work for Shopify. Like you said, I'm our senior community manager, and that just really is a fancy way of saying my job is really to be out there in the community, helping entrepreneurs and small business owners and people interested in getting started in small business to tap into all these resources that are out there and figure out what resources you need and how to get them to you, whether that's one-on-ones and workshops and questions answered and tech tools and whatever that may look like. Before I forget, because I will forget, I'm just not that smart of a guy, let me drop this link in there. There we go. The first link is our website, lots of free classes, and you can come down and spend the day. We have a photo studio, and if you want to take pictures of your products and sit down and have like a face-to-face, build a site together, or have questions and things like that. And the bottom one is if it's virtual or if you need bilingual English and Spanish, you can definitely do that online as well. So those resources are available for you if you want them. By all means, it's all free. Go ahead and do that. If you're interested in the photo studio, let me know. I can rustle up a little discount link for you as well. So just drop that in the chat. But that being said, let me grab this and share screen and make sure it's going to be a good tech day and all of this stuff is going to work and all this kind of stuff is going to happen. We do that, click on this, click on that. Okay, make all this work. All righty. And hopefully everyone can see my screen and we should be good to go. Give me a little thumbs up in the chat or a little yes, yes, or whatever. I just want to make sure that everybody can see it okay.
Yep, we're good.
Perfect. Love that. Love it when things work the way they're supposed to work. Doesn't always work that way in my world. What can I say? So I have the chats open. So if you have a question or you want to talk about something that's in the, on the screen, by all means, just let me know and I'll stop and we can talk more about it. For Jeanette, you can't cut and paste the links. Interesting.
I'll email it to her.
Even better. I love that. Thank you very much. I'm going to go ahead and shut down my camera here really quick so that my big bald head isn't distracting everybody when I'm flopping it all around. And there that goes. And all right, so let's talk about driving online traffic. We're going to cover a lot of stuff today. So, take some notes. If you have questions, like I said, by all means, just throw it in the chats and we'll dive into it a little more in depth and talk about it, what it's going to be like. We're going to talk about marketing essentials to get started. Anytime we talk about marketing or branding or, anytime we talk about marketing or driving traffic or any of these things, we're always going to want to talk about marketing essentials first. It's really, really, really important. We're going to talk about then organic marketing. And we're going to talk about some of the main tactics or strategies and things that are surrounding organic marketing, like SEO and social media. I don't mean like paid ads. I mean more like social media posting. We're also going to email marketing and content marketing strategy and things like that. And then we'll go through paid ads and then popular platforms that are used to paid ads and things
Hi,
like this.
Chris.
Yeah.
We're actually seeing a black screen, so you're sharing,
you are.
but there's nothing on the screen.
Ah, that's why I asked there. Let me go back and try and do this again. That's not really helping. Let's try this again here. Share, 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 stop share. All righty. How about now? Says I'm sharing, looks like I'm sharing. Same thing, huh?
It's still black.
Well, that's not much fun, is it? I was all excited. It's going to be some kind of a good tech day and things are going to be great and easy and smooth. And no, not going to be that way, huh? Okay, well, let's try and do this a whole different way. We can definitely go about this a couple different ways. We're going to do this. We're going to move all this over. We're going to slide that over a couple times. Do this and do that. All righty. And boom. How about now?
Still black.
I don't like that. I don't want to hear black.
Sorry.
Black's not good. Nah, you're perfectly okay. I'm going to stop this, go back to present mode. Go back to the Google tab, the Chrome tab. Here we are. This over. Never fun when you have this stuff. It's always nice when it works perfectly the first time out. Okay. And I'm going to start my video as well. Okay, how about now? Can you see the screen? Should be a white screen. Nope.
No.
All right. I'm gonna pop out of the webinar and I'll pop right back in and hopefully that will solve it. If not, I'll just try something different. I'll be right back.
Okay. Hello, everyone. If you guys have any questions, you can go ahead and put them in the chat box and then he'll get to them as it works in the presentation. He really did design this to be for you guys, so ask whatever questions you want, so you can make sure you have the information you need when he's done. Hello again. All right, let me make you co-host.
All righty.
Okay.
All right, let's give this a little go here. And with a little bit of luck, we'll be able to make all this kind of work out. Back to the thing, back to the deal. All righty.
All right.
How about that? Like
well
magic.
Done.
Well,
A little reset works every time.
Yeah, you know, I don't know. What can you do? Zoom hates you sometimes. Google hates you sometimes. Facebook hates you most days. What can you do? Sometimes you just got to roll with the punches. So let's start over. Where was I at? I was babbling through our little thing here. Here we go. I'm going to turn this off because, you know, the old bald head thing. There we are. All right, cool. Get the chats opened up. So we're right back at square one. Outstanding. Cool. So why do we want to talk about marketing essentials and all this stuff when we're here to talk about branding and we're here to talk about driving traffic? Well, let's think about it this way. If I'm going to invite you over to my house, right? Or, you know, you're nice people. I assume you're all just terrific, amazing people. But if I'm going to invite you over to my house, I want to make a good first impression. So I'm going to do the dishes and I'm going to make the bed and probably sweep up a little bit. And, you know, I want to make that really good first impression. And that's really exactly what marketing essentials, or think about them as branding, really is. It's making a good first impression. It's really making the most out of every visitor that's coming to your website. I mean, if you're going to spend this time and effort and energy and resources to get people to come to your site, whether it's organically or paid ads or whatever the method is, you want to make sure that you're going to get your most bang for your buck, the most out of your, you know, whatever energy you put out there. So what is that? Well, ideally, you want to get a sale, right? I mean, if you're going to spend time and energy and resources to get someone to come to your site, maybe you're hoping that you get an email address out of them, but probably at the end of the day, you're hoping you're going to get them to convert and become a customer and all that. So you want to make the most out of that. And to do that, you really got to connect with them. Your site really has to resonate with them. Your brand has to resonate with them. It all has to really kind of click on many different ways. So branding becomes a huge, huge, huge part of this. In fact, probably 80% of the small business owners I speak with throughout the weeks and months, probably 80% of those conversations come back to a branding conversation. The most common thing I get is, I'm spending a ton of money on Facebook ads and I have a lot of traffic coming to my site, but I'm not getting any sales, or I'm not getting a lot of sales. My conversion rates are low, and I'm going broke paying Facebook. Zuckerberg's getting rich, he's buying airplanes and boats, but I'm not getting the sales I need. And when you start to dig into it, and we start going through analytics, we start looking at things, what always comes back to light is that people are coming to your site and your marketing is okay. They're just not connecting with your website because that branding piece isn't there. So let's take some time to talk about that and figure out, what does that look like? That way you don't go through that bit of that pain. So a unique selling proposition, what is that? Well, essentially it's what makes your brand or product or service different than the competition. What makes it unique? What makes it somehow just a little more preferable to that person that's visiting? And it sounds like it sounds kind of like a simple thing. The truth is, it can be anything. It can be that you're a woman-owned business, a Latina-owned business, that you hand make your products, that things are sourced locally. It can be that you have a great selection of products, or you have a fantastic return policy. It can be almost anything, truthfully. It's just something that is going to resonate with that target audience. And I'm not crazy. I know you're not going to be the only Latina-owned business in the world, or the only woman-owned business in the world. The only person with a no hassle return policy in the world. We all know that. However, when people are starting to look at businesses, it's the why behind, why should I support this brand? Why should I care about this product? What's different about this brand that matters to me? But it's actually one step further. So let me think, let's say I sell handbags, nice handbags, and maybe they're all handmade locally. So let's just say that I sell leather handbags that are all handmade locally in Santa Maria, and they're all handmade using imported Italian leather. Sounds pretty nice, right? Sounds expensive. Well, my unique selling proposition could be that these are all handmade locally in Santa Maria using imported Italian leather. That would make these bags a little bit different and make them a little unique. Certainly different than, a lot of stuff out there, and some people might care about that. But as a customer, right, we're all customers. As a customer, so what? I mean, why do you care? Why do you care if these are handmade or local or using Italian leather? What's in it for you? And we have to think about it that way as a customer. Do they make us younger? Do they last longer? Do they age better? Do they get, do they somehow get worth more as they get older? Are they collectible? Like, what's in it for us, the customer? What's the value for me in this? Why should I care? Now, if I said these are, all these handbags are all handmade locally here in Santa Maria using imported Italian leather that is 3 times thicker than traditional leather and will last you 5 times longer. Well, now there's a value involved. Now I understand that these are bags that will last me longer. And so there's a value. The point is that it's not just enough to be different or to say, this is what makes us a little bit different, or this is what makes us a little bit unique. You need to explain why that uniqueness or why that difference is valuable to your customer. If you're a plumber and you're going to say, we're the best plumber in the world, well, nobody's really going to believe that. But if you say we are, a certain type of plumber, and this is why you should care, that this is what we do and how we do it, people tend to think about that reasoning. Think about the grocery store you go to, whether you go to Ralph's or Vaughn's or, Food for Less or whatever grocery store you go to. Why do you go to that grocery store? I mean, really think about it for a minute. You probably don't go because of the brand name. I mean, you don't go to Ralph's because it's Ralph's or Kroger because it's Kroger. None of us really care that much about Kroger to necessarily go to Kroger because it's Kroger, right? We just don't care that much. You probably go because the prices are better, or the parking lot is better, or it's closer to home, or you like their brand name things better, or the layout of the store, the aisles are nicer, they carry a certain selection of products that you particularly like. There's something valuable to you about that particular location, but it has really nothing to do with the actual brand of the store. You could care less if it's Kroger, supermarket or whatever it is. It's something valuable to you. Same thing with your hair salon, wherever you get your hair cut. You probably could care less if it's called Supercuts or Value Cuts or whatever. You go because the person cutting your hair, most likely. Her talent, her skills, she's friendly, she's nice, the price, the location is close to home, the availability, something of value to you. And when you're thinking about your own business, you have to think about it in that sense. They're not going to really care what the name of your business is. And they probably don't care that you sell t-shirts necessarily, right? That's your product. And they probably aren't shopping for a product as a whole. What's really going to keep them coming back again and again and again and keep them loyal is going to be that value that you're going to give them. That one, X factor, that one value item they're going to find valuable and say, yeah, I like this about this particular store, this particular brand, this particular service. I'll keep coming back because that one thing is valuable to me. That's what makes the difference. Now, when you look at a page and you look at a business, you look at a website, most people skim, right? Most people we look with our eyes. And when I pulled this page up, you saw thank you times 5 million. So did I. This is a social impact value proposition. They're talking about buy a pair, give a pair update. And right now, an About Us page on a website is trending right around the third most clicked on link on your website. That's important to know because people are trying to understand who you are, what you do, what's in the business, what the business is about, why the business is here. They're trying to figure out the why behind it all. But they do it very quick, right? I mean, again, I don't know any of you. You're probably all amazing people with amazing business ideas. But am I going to spend 25 minutes on a website I've never been to with a business I've never heard of, reading 5,000 words, clicking through 2,500 links to try and figure out if I'm interested in shopping on your site? Yeah, probably not. So you got to grab their attention really, really quick. 2 or 3, 4 seconds on that homepage. You got to tell them who you are, what's different about it, what do I do, and why you should give a damn. Otherwise, they may just move on. And if you can't communicate that somehow, then you got to step back and think about that value and think about that unique selling proposition. You want to think about a way to be able to communicate that very, very quickly and succinctly and really, really fast, even if you don't give all the details, just enough to say, hey, this is who we are, this is what we do, this is what's different about us, check us out. Just enough to get them interested, just enough to get them on the hook a little bit, take the bait a little bit. And then they can click on that About Us page and find out the more details. Or then they can click that link and find out about the charity you work with or why it's important to support, small businesses or, women-owned businesses or whatever it is that you're really talking about. But that leads us right into this next one, which is, it's a blessing and a curse. It's a good and a bad. We can argue all day about whether the changes of the world are a good thing, but the truth is that with dating websites and Instagram and Facebook and Amazon and all those things, we and everyone else, we shop with our eyes. We see something, and if it looks good to us, we'll open it up, we'll click on it, we'll dig in further and read the copy. If it doesn't look good to us, we just keep on scrolling. Think about how you shop on Amazon. You don't read the copy first. Nobody reads the copy first. Don't even make the copy visible first. You look at the picture, you look at the star reviews, maybe you look at the price, and then you'll click into it. Instagram, if it grabs your attention, you'll open it up. If not, you just keep on scrolling. So photography is really, really important. If you don't grab someone's attention, they're gone. They don't even give you a second chance. But there's really 2 types of photography that are used every day in every type of business. Doesn't matter if you're a hair salon or a plumber or a restaurant or brick and mortar. It doesn't make any difference. They're used over and over and over again. Product shots and lifestyle shots, they're really, really important, but they do two separate things. And in the perfect world, they're both used in different ways, but they're used together. The product shots down here at the bottom, these are mental. These are a mental checklist. So think about checking boxes in your mind. Yep, looks good. Yep, the quality is good. Yep, the size is right. Yep, the color's right. Yep, the style is right. Yep, the build quality looks good. Yep, it's worth the 25 bucks they're asking. Check, check, check. Yep, looks good. But it's just a mental checklist. It's just in your mind. It's just cerebral. There's no real emotional connection. There's no real engagement. There's no real, like, your heart's not in that. You're not really just, I gotta have it. I'm feeling it. It's just, yeah, in my mind, it's all checking out. And that's good. That makes you feel that it's worth the money and it validates the purchase decision. It's justified, right? The price is justified. However, it doesn't necessarily answer all the questions, and it doesn't make an emotional or psychological connection. And this is one of the things that we really want to kind of stress here. So the handbag on the right, the picture on the right, that little leopard skin handbag there, I could tell you that is 14 by 6 by 12. And, I have no idea what that really means. I'm not that smart of a guy. But if I see it hanging on her, I go, okay, it's a small bag. I get that, right? That watch, if someone says that's a 34 millimeter watch, 34 millimeter bezel, I don't know what that means. I'm buying it for my sister for Christmas. 34 millimeters, maybe that's the right size. What do I know? But if I see it on her wrist above it, now I have a sense of scale, and I have a sense of how, it looks on a body. And is it a big watch or a little watch? Oh, okay. I'm a pretty simple guy. That makes sense to me. It really can help people feel comfortable in that purchasing decision, because now they have a sense of how it fits in real life. Whether it's a blanket laying on a bed or a couch or a picture on a wall or a lamp in a room, it starts to give an idea of scale and size and how they can imagine it being fit into their life. But that's really where things start to get interesting, because when they start envisioning it in their life or in real life, what starts to happen is they're starting to actually think about the purchase decision. When you think about, I can see that, that would be the right size for my sister. What's really happening is you're already starting to walk on that journey towards making that purchase. You're already starting to subconsciously in your mind buy that product. And what starts to happen is, well, that watch looks good on her, they'll look good on me, or they'll look good on my sister. And if they look good on me, I'm already buying the product, right? It starts to make this emotional and psychological connection. And people kind of snicker and laugh at this sometimes. And they go, that's crazy. That's, this crazy psychobabble stuff. But let's go back. Let's take a little history lesson really quick. Think about the Marlboro Man. Like, I'm an old guy. I'm 50 years old. So, you think about the Marlboro Man. Remember those billboards? You had a cowboy. He had, he was a biker. He was a construction worker. He was all these uber masculine, macho kind of figures. But they never said buy these cigarettes, did they? They could have just put a picture of Marlboros up on a sign and said buy these. Or how about women's magazines? Pick up any Vogue or Cosmo, and what do you see? A full page ad. It's Paris, it's on a balcony, and she has on this beautiful silk dress, pearls, diamonds. A man has a tuxedo on, Eiffel Towers in the background. They have champagne. This is beautiful romantic scene. And all the way in the back of the room, there's a dresser. And all the way in the back corner of the dresser, there's a little tiny bottle of perfume. Well, Chanel could just do a big old ad that said buy Chanel perfume. And we would all go, yeah, we know Chanel. Why go through all that trouble with the models and the staging and the Paris and the balcony and all that stuff? They're making that emotional connection with you. They're selling you a dream. They're selling you a lifestyle. They're getting you to connect with their product on an emotional level. Because what that does is does a lot more than just make a mental checklist. Now you're saying, wow, I'd really like to have that life. I'd really like to experience that. I'd really like to have a little piece of that. And what starts to happen is you start to equate that lifestyle with that product. You start to equate the Marlboro Man with that uber macho, construction worker, masculine guy who happens to also smoke Marlboros. and they become in your mind one and the same, and starts to create this brand image where, you know, if I want to have that lifestyle, I'm going to have to have Chanel perfume, which is how it's going to have to be. And I already know from looking at the, the product shots that it's well worth the money. And I see what my life is going to be like once I get the product, because I see her on the balcony and him on the balcony. And, obviously their life is awesome. And it's certainly better than my life. I'm in a box in LA, talking in a headset. So, I got to order this stuff. That psychological connection is incredibly important. And what it does is, after your mind has already said, yes, this is worth the money, it's a good product, now you've made this emotional connection, it's walking you towards that purchase. It's a really, really powerful 1-2 punch of, yes, this is worth the money. Yes, this is going to make my life better. What more do you need to make a sale? It's really, really, really a powerful tool. And it's been going on for years and years and years. It's one of the oldest and most proven and tested forms of marketing. And it's used every day in our lives, and we don't even realize it. I mean, when you walk into those grocery stores I mentioned earlier, think about the departments you walk into. I don't care where you live and what grocery store you walk into. I would bet money that most of you walk into the same departments everywhere. You probably walk into the produce department or the bakery, maybe the deli bakery, in every grocery store. It's psychology. You walk in, the bakery smells, it's that warm, fresh baked bread. It makes you hungry, right? You walk into the produce department, it's cool. Everything's beautiful and colorful and fresh. They're playing with your mind. It's psychology. It works. It's amazing, amazing stuff, but it's really powerful. The thing is that it's available to us. That's a small business owner. It's available for us to do in this same way. We just have to kind of connect the dots a little bit for the customers and take them on this journey of, yeah, now you know the product is good. Let me show you what this good product that you've just established is worth the money. Let me show you what this looks like in your life. And then once they have that, they move into reading the copy, because they've shopped with their eyes and now they're going to read the words. To me, it's the hardest part of it all, because it's like equal parts art and science. It's not something I'm naturally gifted at. You get better as you work at it, the better as you do it, but it's just not something that comes naturally or easy to me. And some people, bless you, you're good at it and great at it. Some of us have to just struggle and work through it. But writing copy is, the whole point of copy is really the, it's something that you're writing that's strategically designed to persuade someone to take some form of action. Click on this, buy now, tag a friend, give me your email address, do something. It's getting them to take some form of action. And we use it all the time. We use it in promotional emails and ad copy and Facebook ads, our copy pages, our homepage. We use it all the time. We're constantly trying to get people to do something, take some kind of action. We just don't always realize it. On your product page, this is one of the most important parts of this. And it's one of the most important parts of trying to make this really good first impression. It goes a long ways with your branding, because you want to be continuing to explain to your customers why your product or service or brand is different. At this point, I'm on your product page, and let's be honest, what's the next step? Either I buy the product or I leave, right? There's really not like a third option. So at this point, it's the sales pitch. But you're still telling me, if you read this copy on this page on the screen, you're still pretty much just telling me what's different about your product, what's unique about it, what's special about it, why I should care about it. It's still just a unique selling proposition for a product, right? What's unique about it? It's flannel sourced from Japan. Hell, I don't know if Japanese flannel is any good or not. What do I know about flannel? I don't know what an unbreakable fisheye Urea button is. I have no clue, right? Sounds pretty fancy. Sounds better than the shirt I have on. Sounds nice. But it is just the same kind of concept. You're just continuing to explain what's different about the product, why I got to have it in my life, how I can use it in my life, what the benefits of owning this products are, what's the value to me of having this product. You see right there in the copy, they say I can wear it as a jacket this fall. When winter rolls around, put it to work as a super soft mid layer. Cool. Sold. Easy. Yeah, I get it. Nice and simple. But maybe the most important part of all this is the who. Because if you have a great website, terrific, it's beautiful, and your photographs are awesome, and you have, you've really connected all the dots with lifestyle photography and product photography, and your copy does a nice job of explaining what's different and unique about it and special about it and why I should care about it and all those kinds of things, and it connects with me in every way. But you send it to the wrong people, it's really not going to make a lot of difference, does it? I mean, think about how we interact with each other in life, right? If all of us saw each other on the street, walking down the street, how would we engage with each other? If you just saw me walking down the street and we're going to say, hey, Chris, would you say, hey? Would you say hello? Would you say, what's up? Would you call me sir, ma'am, sir, dude, guy, mister? We naturally adapt how we speak to people based on who we perceive them to be. We do it every day, all the time. It's kind of a fascinating thing. We speak to doctors differently than we speak to our best friend. We speak to a pastor differently than we speak to our younger brother. We adapt who we speak based on our perception, right? A senior citizen we'd speak to differently than a 10-year-old, just because we perceive them to be a different kind of person. And so we adjust our tone a little bit. So that senior, maybe we're not going to use slang, and maybe we're not going to curse. Maybe we are going to be a little more proper and formal and polite and respectful. And that Generation Z, that 18-year-old, maybe we'll use a little more slang and kind of, a little more cursing and a little more edgy tone and things like that. It's natural. We all do it all the time, most of the time without thinking. Why wouldn't our websites or our businesses, why would that be any different? I mean, if I'm trying to target senior citizens, why would I have a website that I would write all my copy and do all my targeting and all my photographs and everything else? Why would I use edgy tone and slang and all that kind of language if I'm trying to target seniors? It wouldn't make sense, would it? I mean, this picture right here, I don't know why she's wearing her fur coat on the beach, and it just doesn't. None of this really resonates with me. But if this was my lifestyle and this is my generation and my people and my tribe or whatever, this would all feel pretty natural to me. I'd get it. Your target audience will influence your copy and your lifestyle photography in terms of who's in it and the clothes they wear and all that. It'll directly impact your site design, the layouts and the styles and the types of fonts, the type of flow, the way the colors are. It affects everything. I mean, let's say I'm on Instagram and I like tacos. I find a picture of some tacos, dancing tacos, right? Dancing tacos. And I go, that's kind of cute. I click on that. It takes me to a website. It's all pink, lots of little frilly flowers and, kind of cursive fonts. And there's some little girls playing with toys. Do I feel like I'm in the right place? Am I going to click around and start shopping? Nah, doesn't feel right. Even if you sell products that are fine for me to buy, just doesn't feel right. I'm not the target audience. The website doesn't match with me. And it goes right back to what I started out by talking, is that traffic comes to your site, but there's not any resonance. There's a disconnect. Target audience needs to see themselves. No, scratch that. The target audience needs to see the life that they want to have in your website. And so whoever it is you're trying to target, they should see themselves in your copy and in your photography and in your unique selling proposition. Because what's valuable to me may not be valuable to a senior, and what's valuable to a senior citizen may not be valuable to a teenager. So understanding who your target audience is really, really important. It's one of the first steps, and certainly it's something you're going to come back and revisit over and over again. And before you start launching any marketing campaign or brand or targeting campaign or going out and trying to get traffic to your site, it's something to take a step back and just make sure, are you still targeting the right people? And does your website and your branding still match that audience? Because if you go out and do a campaign targeting the wrong people, and you funnel all the 49-year-old Chris's into your website that's pink and frilly and has little girls on it, you're not going to get any sales. You just wasted a whole lot of time and energy getting a bunch of traffic to your site that all just left and you didn't get anything out of it. So hope that all makes a little bit of sense. That's just kind of, that's like the first step before getting into any kind of marketing or driving traffic in. But let's dive into organic marketing, because organic marketing is misunderstood. Marketing in general is misunderstood, especially among small business owners and entrepreneurs, because we hear about paid ads. We hear about Facebook ads, Instagram ads, TikTok ads, Pinterest ads, all these different kinds of ads, right? We hear about them all the time. And people say, yeah, spending tons of money and ad strategies and all this kind of stuff. The truth is, you will go broke trying to keep traffic coming to your website by paid ads. You cannot, you absolutely cannot really support long-term and sustain long-term a small business based on paid ads alone. When an ad runs, you have traffic. When an ad's not running, you don't have traffic. That's how that works. Organic marketing is how you drive free vetted traffic 24/7 to your website. That's the foundation. That's what gives you that traffic that comes to your site every day. It doesn't call in sick. It doesn't take breaks. It doesn't sleep. Doesn't give you attitude. Doesn't take lunch. It just keeps on working around the clock. Organic marketing is what does that. Paid ads are strategic. They're a different kind of animal. They're targeted. They're there for a reason. Organic marketing, that just keeps the the valve open. It just keeps that traffic flowing while you're sleeping, while you're on vacation, while you're doing other things. Now, this is that Wikipedia definition there of organic marketing. The interesting part about this is that naturally over time is a key here, because it's not a matter of just saying, hey, I know that this person loves tacos and I'm going to pay $5 and put a picture of a taco in front of him and trick him into coming to my site. That'll work once, and that might get you some clicks, but we're not talking about clicks here, and we're not talking about sales here. And this is something that's really important to understand with organic marketing, because if you notice, it says organic marketing refers to the act of getting customers to come to you. It doesn't say the act of getting sales. And this is a very key distinction. With sales and paid ads and organic marketing and things like this, there are differences in what you're trying to accomplish. With organic marketing, we're going to talk a lot about engagement. We're going to talk about getting engaged customers, building an audience, building followers, building these people that are engaged with your brand, building you this kind of core group of regulars that become cheerleaders and followers and supporters and referrers and all those kinds of things. And yeah, they're also customers, and yeah, they also buy, but this is really what sustains a business long term. If any of you ever owned a restaurant or a bar or had a favorite bar or restaurant that you go to a lot, you know that there's always a group of regulars. They come every week, they come every night. It's a certain percentage of people that the restaurant, that business can count on to sustain them day in, day out, every week. They know that Bob comes in every Tuesday with his family and gets 2 beers and a steak, and that's his regular. And, you can count on those. And those are extremely valuable for businesses. It's really the same thing. Organic marketing helps build that in addition to bringing in new traffic. But there's really 4 pillars, 4 tactics, 4 strategies that we lean on heavily for organic marketing. And the first 2, and they're not going to go in this order. I changed the order up a little bit for this. We're going to talk about, and they're going to work hand in hand a little bit, is search engine optimization, SEO. Let's be honest, we're going to call that Google because, Google is the dominant monkey on the playground. And then social media. In this example, as we're going to talk about them today, they're going to work hand in hand. I'm going to show you how. And you're going to be a little bit surprised how simple social media can be to really make an impact, because a lot of times we get caught up and mixed up between paid ads and social media, and they're not the same. And you know what? There's a lot of people out there online that are just giving us a bunch of crappy information because they're there to make some cash. Again, we got the Wikipedia definition of SEO. We all kind of know what that is. You want everyone to find you with a search engine, right? If I type in men's tennis shoes and you sell men's tennis shoes, You want to be at the top of that list, so I find you. How do we do that? That's not easy. In fact, with a term like men's tennis shoes, to be honest, it's pretty much impossible. It's too broad of a search term. I mean, there's a billion companies selling men's tennis shoes. It's almost impossible to get at the top of that list with that broad of a search. But there are ways you can win. And there's definitely some main tactics and strategies and things that you can do as a small business owner. Now, it doesn't matter if you're using Shopify or Wix or Weebly or BigCommerce, small commerce, medium commerce, or you have a brick and mortar, or you're selling on Facebook, or OfferUp or whatever. There's definitely some things you can do as a small business owner that will help you. The nice part is they are 100% free. You don't have to pay someone. You don't have to hire an expert. These people online that hire us and do all this stuff. There are some things that can be done with SEO that are worth paying for. However, these things are 80% of the playing field. If you're thinking about a football field, these things are going to get you 80% down the field, the first 80 yards. These guys that you're paying for SEO, they get you that last 20%, the last 20 yards. And those are important, but you can do these first 80% by yourself for free. And the amount of impact you get out of these is massive. It is huge. But keep in mind, SEO is the long game. These are things that take time. You're not going to do all these today and tomorrow 1,000 people come to your website or to your business. It's not how it works. SEO can take weeks or even months sometimes for you to really start seeing the impact and the results come from SEO. It's just, the way the algorithms and things work. So let's take a look. What do we do here? Well, the first thing you need, the easiest way to start, is a relevant product title. And I picked this one for a reason, because it's kind of controversial. I always get a lot of comments in the chat. Steven always lights up about this one. The title here is Ultra Soft Flannel. Should this say Ultra Soft Flannel Shirt? Is there a right answer? Is there a wrong answer? It's always kind of a hotly debated question. And the truth is, there really isn't a right or wrong answer. However, there has to be some things done differently either way. So if I'm going to say Ultra Soft Flannel Shirt, cool. Google knows that this is an Ultra Soft Flannel Shirt page. Easy peasy. And if someone searches for flannel shirt, Google says, okay, flannel shirt, yeah, I got that, cool. But that doesn't always fit in with everyone's brand or aesthetic. Maybe you're a plumber and you don't necessarily want to put the word plumber in every single product title. Maybe, every single service title, right? Drain stoppage plumber, right? Maybe that's not what you want to do. Maybe you're selling candles and you don't want the word candle in every product description, every product title. That's fair. Maybe you're just a little, you have a kind of a hip site and branding, and you want it to be called the George, and you don't want to have the word candle in there. Completely okay. But, and this is the big but, if that's what you're going to do, you have to make sure that below it in the product description, the word candle is referenced. So in this case, Ultra Soft Flannel Shirt, if the word shirt is not going to be in the title, Google doesn't know if that's a towel, a flannel bathrobe, a flannel socks, a flannel blanket, a flannel dog clothes. It has no idea what it is. It just knows that it's Ultra Soft Flannel. So it can be anything. It can be linking all kinds of crazy stuff to it. But if we go down here, boom, there's the word shirt. Now Google's going to crawl the entire website. We'll go through it in a few minutes, but it's going to put all these together. So it's going to see the word shirt down here and know that, okay, this flannel and shirt on the same page, it's going to match all that up for you. So as long as the word shirt is on the same page, you should be good to go. There's a lot of argument, a lot of debate. That's kind of hot on, is this the best way or the right way? Is one better than the other or more preferable? At the end of the day, you're talking about a matter of preference, matter of style. If I was to tell you that, having Ultra Soft Flannel Shirt might give you a 3% advantage over Ultra Soft Flannel with the word shirt in the description below it, but it better fits your aesthetic. Would that change your mind? Probably not, right? Because you still want to have that brand aesthetic, and your customers still want to kind of feel that vibe and overall, feel and flow of brand in your store. So yeah, maybe your SEO gets a little bit of a hit, but your branding and your style and your trust and maybe that goes up. So it's a balance. It has to be what's right for your customers and your brand. The other part of this is your keywords. Take a look at the shirt you're wearing. I mean, I'm assuming you're all wearing shirts, but if you're not, then look at your shorts or your socks or your shoes. But if you're wearing a shirt, take a look at the shirt you're wearing. And imagine you were going to search for that shirt in Google. What would you type in? I mean, I'm wearing a white sweatshirt. I just wouldn't go to Google and type in white sweatshirt. That'd be crazy. I'd get a gazillion results. So would I type in white long sleeve sweatshirt? It's kind of a cream colored. So I guess cream color sweatshirt, long sleeve, men's long sleeve cream color sweatshirt, men's heavyweight, long sleeve sweatshirt, cream color, men's cream color sweatshirt, extra large. I mean, you start thinking about those kind of words. That's essentially one of the first steps to coming up with keywords. It's how are people going to search for this product that you're selling, this product on this page? What would be the search term someone would use to search for it? And it's going to continually evolve. There's a lot of ways to come up with search words, keywords. There's a lot of ways to find them and kind of research them. But that's one of the easiest ways to get started, is just to look at the product and start thinking, what would someone be using to describe this product, to search for this product? And then go out, step back a little bit, go outside the box. You can see on this page, they have the word sturdy and durable and soft, right? They have flannel, they have ultra soft in here. They have fuzzy, they have luxuriously soft. They have jacket, they have all these different kind of words in here, mid-layer, again and again, chest pocket, over and over again, napped, brushed. So all these are just keywords that can be referenced again and again and again, and they help people find these pages. So if I sat down and I typed in flannel shirt, yeah, got it. Sturdy flannel shirt, got it. Soft flannel shirt, got it. Durable flannel shirt, got it. Durable, sturdy, super soft flannel shirt, yeah, got it. What about luxuriously soft, fuzzy interior? Yep, got it. Japanese flannel, yep, got it. You just keep thinking about how would someone search for this product, and you try and incorporate that as much as possible. But you don't want to do something crazy like luxuriously, soft, winter, soft, that doesn't work. It's got to be written as a paragraph. So someone's going to read this and it's going to make sense. It's going to be pleasant to read. It's not going to feel salesy. So it takes a little bit of practice and a little bit of style. But when you get it right, it helps build trust and it helps build sales and it helps improve sales quite a bit. Alt text is another one. And alt text is actually a 3-in-1. A lot of people don't realize that. That picture on the far left, Allbirds, $95. All Google knows is whatever that picture is titled. And if you're like me and you look at your phone or your laptop or whatever, and you pull up an image, it probably says image 179.jpg. And I'm sorry, but there ain't nobody searching for image 179.jpg online. And Google don't know what the hell image.179.jpg is. So there's no way to connect any of that to your product. So how do we do that? Well, if you look over there on the right, and there it says image alt text, and you see where it says alt equals Allbirds men's merino wool sneakers, gray, size 12. That's the alt text. And there's an opportunity on your website to basically tell Google what's inside that picture. Then Google knows what's in the picture. I'll show you how to do it in a second. But there's also two other things that are really, really important. One, if that image didn't load, maybe it's a bad loading speed or Wi-Fi is down or whatever. If that image didn't load, Google would then display the alt text, display those words. If that picture didn't load, Google would display those words in its place. Pretty cool. But even more importantly, if someone was visually disabled, couldn't see the image, and was using a device that would audibly read out loud to them what they can't see, it would actually read that alt text out to them. So even though they can't see that picture of that gray shoe, it would actually read to them out loud, Allbirds men's merino wool sneakers, gray, size 12. If you don't have that, it's just going to say image.179.jpg. That's really not going to help anyone. It's really not fair. It's really not the right thing to do. Alt text is incredibly important, both for, doing the right thing with people and for an SEO benefit, SEO purposes. Really, really important stuff. And meta descriptions at the bottom of the page, every single page in your website has a meta description. Your product page, your collection page, your about us page, your shipping policy page. Every single page has a meta description. And your meta description is very, very, very different than your product description. It's a different strategy. They should not be the same. They absolutely should not be the same. Your product description is there to sell a product. Your meta description is there to get me to click on your link instead of the one above it or below it. It's almost 100% entirely responsible for click-through rates on Google searches. So it's there to tell me, why should I click on your link instead of the one above it or below it? It's there just to tell me what's different about your brand instead of the one above it or below it. So when I see something like this, that little bit right here, that's the meta description. Huckberry is an online shop and journal that inspires more active, adventurous, and stylish lives. If you see right after the word unique, where it's got those ... Google will cut off at about 150 characters. So keep that in mind. You got to get all the good, juicy, sexy, pop and sizzle stuff up front. Don't sleep on it. Don't wait till the end and then kind of try and slip in the good stuff. Get it up front. Get all the good stuff up front. Otherwise, your customers won't see it. Now, I made this little drawing here. It's definitely not, probably the most artistic thing in the world. I don't think it's in danger of going up in the Louvre anytime soon, but it's effective. So let's talk about how Google works and how these search engines work, because this is also a fundamental understanding of how this all works. There's a bit of a misunderstanding around this. Google crawls your website. You see the little spider there. It's going to look at every dot, period, dash, letter, number, space, every single thing on your page, on your website, on your business. It's going to index it in a really, really, really big filing cabinet. It's got every little thing, every dot, dash, word, number, color, every word, everything. It's going to store it in there. Red, men's t-shirt, cool. It's going to go in the red file, the men's file, and the t-shirt file. You go all the way over to the left. When old Chris here sets my big bald head down on my laptop and I type in the Google red men's t-shirt, it's going to go all the way back to that index and it's going to pull out red men's t-shirt. Cool. Does it really fast. Now you see in the middle of the screen where it says ranking algorithms. This is the part where there's so much misinformation out there in the world. Because between the point where I ask Google, to find me the red men's t-shirt and Google sends it back to me in some kind of order, it runs it through this ranking algorithm. And to be very frank and honest about this, Google, their ranking algorithm is one of the biggest kept secrets in the tech industry. Nobody knows what it is. Nobody knows what they look for. Nobody knows how they're weighted. We know that there are between 10 and 15 things that they look at in that algorithm. Every couple of years, they'll release some updates and they'll say, hey, we're going to look at page loading speeds. This past April, they announced they're going to look at page loading speeds and weigh it more heavily than they have previously. And we go, oh, page loading speed. So that's one of the algorithm features. Okay, cool. So over the course of years, we've kind of made this list, but we don't know if that's 1% or 50% or 78%. We have no clue. Nobody does, unless they work for Google. So all these people online that say they're experts in SEO and they're there and they're going to guarantee your SEO and they're going to make it, 200 times better and all that. They're doing it based on their own experience and what they've seen and kind of picked up on their own. But unless they work for Google, none of us really have that insight into exactly how that ranking algorithm works truly and honestly, myself included. It's all based on our own experience, and we do what we can based on little tidbits we pick up from Google's releases, coupled with our own experience and knowledge and insight and research and some of those things. But when you get it right, this is what it looks like. Now, a few things to notice. Right below the word all, you see that it's 318 million results. It's a hell of a lot of results. And this is probably page one out of hundreds of pages of results. I don't know about you, but I've never been to I've never gone past page 2 or 3 of Google searches. Who goes to page 50 of Google search results? That doesn't happen. Nobody does that. So you want to be on page 1 or 2 for sure. Ideally page 1. Now look over here on the left and you can see, oops, sorry. Click there. If you go over here on the left, you see where it says the word sponsored right there. Well, that's a paid ad. You see down here where it says ad, that's a paid ad. So your first 2 results, native results, so where here it says Allbirds, world's most comfortable shoes, Allbirds women's shoes. Cool. So Allbirds got some pretty good results there. But let's be really specific about what we're literally looking at. Because they didn't search for women's shoes. They didn't search for shoes. They searched for wool sneakers. Now, Google is kind enough to understand that sneakers and shoes are the same thing, right? That, they put 2 and 2 together for us there. But the word wool, and you can see it's even highlighted down here, wool and wool. Wool. That's what made all the difference in the world. Allbirds is winning the searches for wool sneakers because that's the keyword they're leaning on in all of their product descriptions, right? And their meta descriptions. Wool, 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 again and again and again. If I had searched for cotton sneakers, canvas sneakers, leather sneakers, you would not be seeing Allbirds here. It's important, really important distinction. You can absolutely crush it. You can be the absolute hero, the absolute champion, the home run king of wool sneakers, but not even be on the radar for leather sneakers. It all depends on the searches, on the type of searches and the keywords you're leaning into. So knowing your product and knowing what search terms people are going to use to search for your product is really important. Understanding your product and how you think it's perceived in the world and what kind of terms people are going to use to search for it, super important. Same thing if you're a service, if you're a salon, if you are, let's say you're a salon, let's say, you're a woman's salon, a spa. Are people going to search for spa? Are they going to search for salon? Are they going to search for beauty? Are they going to search for haircuts? Are they going to search for esthetician? What terms are they going to be searching for? It's really important because if everyone's searching for spa and all you're doing is saying salon, 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 guess what? You're not going to be listed. You're not going to be found. But if you search wool sneakers and everybody's searching for wool sneakers, you're going to be the champion, gold medals. You're going to be on stage, winning the prize. Social media works hand in hand with SEO. And this is all something that is really, really misunderstood. And these next ones go pretty quick because we're all a lot more familiar with them than SEO. Social media is different than paid ads. I want to be very clear about that. Social media is something that we all know the basics of, but it is so grossly misused in small business that it sometimes just frustrates the crap out of me, to be very honest. It drives me crazy. It's a pet peeve. We all know it builds awareness. We all know that you can do all this stuff with it. Yet, when I talk to small business owners about social media, they automatically say, yeah, paid ads. Yeah, I'm doing Facebook ads. Yeah, yeah. That's not what this is, my friends. That's not what we're talking about here. So let's talk about social media for a minute and how this all works together. Remember when I was talking about target audiences and branding and resonating with your target audience? Yeah, that's a lot of what this is about. You think about a swimming pool. We're all in a swimming pool. It's a nice day. It's in August. It's hot. You got a drink. You're in that far into the pool. You're just kind of minding your business, relaxing, having that nice drink. Pool's calm. There's a couple kids in the far end of the pool. They're minding their own business. They're quiet. They're not yelling. They're being good kids. I know, but they're being good kids. You don't really notice them. It's all peaceful. It's great. But if they start splashing and yelling and screaming and making waves and throwing balls, you're going to notice them. That's exactly how social media works for engagement. It's how it works in terms of algorithms. The more of a splash you make, the more you get noticed by algorithms, such as social media, SEO, and Facebook's algorithm. which in turn gets you more visibility, which in turn gets you shown to more people, gets you more followers, gets you more engagements, and so on and so forth. The name of the game here is engagement. People do not want to be sold to on social media. They're looking to be engaged. They're looking for things that resonate with them, things that matter to them, things that they care about, not to be sold to. I can't stress that enough. If you try to sell to people, they just walk away. I see products, I see brands all the time that have, social media pages that are just picture after picture after picture after picture after picture of product after product after product after product after product. And I don't care how great your product is, nobody wants to see it that often. This is Allbirds we're looking at right here on the screen. They have 1,531 posts. They sell tennis shoes. These shoes, their whole thing is the world's most comfortable shoes. That's their whole selling proposition. Now, their shoes are also eco-friendly, environmentally sustainable. Every part of that shoe is 100%, completely good for the environment. And they know that, and the audience knows that. However, would anybody want to see 1,500 pictures of shoes? Of course not. Who the hell wants to see 1,500 pictures of shoes, even if you love those shoes? I like their shoes. I don't want to see 1,500 pictures of them. So what do? What do you do for content then? Well, you post about things that your audience cares about. Your audience finds you're passionate about, things that resonate with your target audience. They know that the other side of their brand is that eco-friendly, right? Environment, sustainability. So nature, environment, hence the birds and the nature. If I had a website selling hiking boots, I would be not posting pictures of 1,000 pictures of hiking boots. Yeah, there'd be some, but there'd be pictures of hiking boots, but there'd also be a lot of pictures of my friends and I hiking, or vistas from the top of a mountain, or campfires, or snacks, or things related to hiking, things that people who wear my hiking boots would care about and find value in. But it wouldn't just be pictures of hiking boots. In fact, probably 80% of my content on social media would not be product. It would be content. It would be things that my readers would find valuable and engaging, not product. Because nobody wants to be sold to, and nobody wants to see 1,531 pictures of tennis shoes, even if they're great shoes. Nobody wants to see it. I mean, nobody. Movement watches, another good example here. Contests, giveaways, creating a big splash. I'll let you do the math here, but 3,700 likes. Then they ask you to follow them. So that's a big old splash down here, 3,700. They ask you all to follow them. That's another big splash. Tagging 2 more friends. That's 2 more big splashes times another 3,700. Then you got 3,700 more clicks, 37,000, more clicks. That's a lot of big splashes, my friends. So yeah, it costs them technically 3 watches, but the amount of impact they're getting from those 3 splashes is going to continue to drive traffic into that website, into that brand, into that Facebook page for months and months and months and months to come. Long after those 3 watches are gone, this is going to keep sending traffic to their website again and again and again, just from this big old splash they've created on this one day, this one campaign, this one event. Social media is really about creating a big splash and making a big engagement. People say, well, how do we do it? Well, it's actually not as hard as you think. CNC. It's content and consistency. One guy posting one time, nobody gives a damn. Post 3-4 times a week, you do that consistently, and you post content that people who would care about your brand would also find interesting and would resonate with them. And you'll start to find an engaged audience. It takes time to build, but you'll start to find an audience engaged. I mean, I work for Shopify, right? So I could post about Shopify plans and subscriptions every day, and nobody wants to hear that. But if we talked about small businesses and owners and the lives of small businesses, and if I was posting about, trying to balance your life and as a small business owner with raising 2 kids and keeping a job and buying groceries and taking the kids to school and COVID and work from home and all those other stuff, that's something you find engaging and understand and you can relate to. And that's much more valuable to you than me blathering on about, $29 plans or $14 domains. That's the kind of thing you build your audience on. And then once you have that audience, well, it's exponential. Because then when you post something and 1,400 people like it, it's a lot better than 14 people like it. Because when those 1,400 people like it, Facebook starts showing it to more people. And all those 1,400 friends just saw that like. And you start to grow and it starts to drive more and more and more and more and more traffic. And that's the kind of exciting part. Good question from Jeanette. How do you think of or find content? Yeah, it's a really good question. It's probably the biggest one that comes up. Content is one of the most challenging things. One, from a time standpoint, how to create it, and two, from how do you find it or, creatively come up with it. There's two ways. First of all, every piece of content you come up with, I would try to recycle it in a few different ways. So if you write a blog, for example, and I'm gonna get to this in just a second, actually. If you're gonna write a blog, I would absolutely 100% break that blog up and use it for some Facebook posts, for example. So if that blog is, 4 paragraphs, that sounds like 4 small Facebook posts to me, part 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then maybe also that comes out in an email as well, right? So you've got 5 pieces of content out of that one blog that you wrote for your website. Also, just like I just mentioned there, so if I'm selling hiking boots, maybe it's what else do people who wear hiking boots like or care about? How about taking care of their feet, taking care of their boots, shoestrings, mud puddles, health, nature, hikes. So maybe it is then I think about a content calendar like top 3 tips every Thursday. Okay, so Thursday are gonna be top 3 hiking tips. Whether it's top 3 ways to tie my shoes, top 3 hiking trails in LA. It could be finding pictures. So maybe I'm going to like a Burst or Unsplash, those sites where you can get free pictures. And I'm just trying to find hiking pictures, nature pictures, vista pictures, scenic pictures, anything that I think people who would wear my product would find value in. So I'm trying to think of it through a customer's eyes. If I sell home decor, then maybe I'm writing a blog about top 3 tips to make a small space seem larger. And the pictures I'm looking at are things that I think people who would buy my products, not my products, but things that people who would buy my products or use my kind of products would find interesting or valuable. So it would be, small spaces. It would be interesting rooms. It would be kind of interesting style tips and things like that don't necessarily relate to my product. I'm not trying to sell to them. I'm trying to engage with them. I'm trying to show them things that they're going to find interesting, things that they're going to want to share with their friends, things that they're going to find value in. Because what I want to do is I want to get them to follow me and come back next week and come back tomorrow and share it with their friends and think, yeah, this site is something I like. This site is something that it's my jam. It's my stuff. It's my people. They get me. Because even if they don't buy from me today, when it is time to buy, I'm going to be their choice. And that's what I want. Because I'm not interested in a one-time sale. I'm interested in, a one-time sale and a lifetime customer. And hopefully a lifetime customer that also tells all their friends and family and shares on social media and things. Email marketing is not dead. It's a myth. It's a lie. It's a fallacy. It's complete BS. Email marketing month after month, week after week still converts twice as high as social media. I don't care what you talk about TikTok or whatever the people say are hot. Email marketing still converts twice as high, well over 4% every single time. You can automate a lot of it, like welcome series and abandoned checkouts. So it's automatically done. It's damn near free. I mean, it's really, really cheap, and it's free up until you get into a lot of email subscribers, and then it gets, pennies per every 100 sends or whatever. But it is still one of the most effective ways to get sales. It's also incredibly, incredibly effective in keeping existing customers in the loop, not losing those existing customers, right? I mean, none of you are going to remember my name in 6 months, and that's okay. But if I sent you an email, you'd remember. You'd at least remember that you showed up to this thing and listened to me babble on for an hour or so. It would refresh your memory. That's the power of email marketing. It can suddenly remind you that, oh yeah, I remember that. And what happens when I say, hey, remember that workshop you went to last year around Christmas time and around Thanksgiving and you popped in? Here's what we're going to do it again this year. Click this link. And when you click that link, what just happened? You went right back into my funnel, right? You went right back into my site. You come right back into being a customer again and right back to visiting my website. I got you back on the hook again. I got a chance with you again. Otherwise, you were gone to me. You were dead to me. You're at the door. You forgot about me. Adios. You're gone. Email marketing is incredibly, incredibly effective. I can't think of a single major successful brand that doesn't lean into email marketing in some form or fashion. Now, I'm not going to go through all the details of email marketing, how to craft emails and different apps and all these kind of things. I'm going to go through some of the best practices here because email marketing is something that really should be its own separate workshop. If I asked you which of these 3 emails you like the best, almost everyone says the same thing every single time. Almost everyone gives me the same answer, and every single time I do show these 3, I get the same answer. And it's probably for the same reason, because people are all kind of the same. Generally speaking, most people like the one on the far left. We all love the water and the blue color and that vibe, the happiness, the warm blue water and the colors and all those kind of good, wonderful things, right? What am I going to do with it? Do I click on something? What do I do? What are they selling? No call to action, right? I mean, I love Allbirds, but kind of a miss on that one. But they're all very different in the sense of how they're constructed, the colors, the styles, the type of photography. The one thing they all have done really, really well here is that they all have a sense of urgency to them. Because if you're like me, I get emails and I say, oh, okay, cool, I like that. I'll check that out later on. And then I don't. So when you see these that say, live now, shop early access, before it's too late, get your holiday shopping done today, first early sale of the year, all these things that say, don't wait. There's a timeliness to it, a sense of urgency. They're creating that, do it now, look at it now, click now, don't wait, early access, exclusive, do it now. That's the trick, right? That's the gimmick. Don't be a Chris. Don't put it in your inbox to forget about me. Click it now. And you got to have a good call to action to do that. You got to have a button. You got to have something to do. If I got to scroll down 7 screens on my phone to find some kind of a link, I'm probably not doing that. But if there's just something right at the top, I like that picture, I click on it, it's emotional, it's exciting, I'm all into it, I love that color. I click on it, they got me. I'm in. I'm there. So you got to really capture it, but it's really effective. These are another 3 good examples. I particularly love the 2 on the far left, the far right. The copy on the far right is great. I mean, I'm an older guy, so the copy on the far right really brings up a mental image of that, Jason Bourne kind of James Bondy superhero, supervillain kind of a thing. But these all have 2 things in common. Really good copy that knows the target audience and really, really good photography and a very clear call to action, right? That shop now button, boom, right in the front. Like you can't miss that. I look at it, I know what am I supposed to do? I know who it's for. I know I can clearly see great photography. You get it right away. I don't got to scroll down. I don't got to, think about too much. I don't got to analyze it. Very clear. And if I read the copy, I get a mental image. I'm in. I get it. But just looking at the picture alone, if that's all I see, because on your phone, that's all you're going to see, I quickly understand, what am I looking at? Who is it intended for? What's the product? And what am I supposed to do next? Very simple, very quick. That's a way to get my attention and get me to take some kind of action extremely quickly without having to read 5,000 words and remember, who is that Chris guy again? Should I read this 5,000 words off this Chris guy? I don't remember who he is. Lots of email marketing apps out there. Klaviyo is one of the most popular right now. There's tons of them out there. They range from being really, really, really affordable or even free and pretty basic to being really robust and fancy and, lots of bells and whistles and things like that. Really depends on what you're looking for and what you want to do with them in terms of automations and things. Everyone should be using an email marketing tool on their business. Doesn't matter if you're selling on Facebook Marketplace or OfferUp or Shopify or whatever. Everyone should be having email marketing, and everyone should have some type of pop-up that pops up to collect an email address. That little basic bar on the bottom of your page, I'm sorry, but they really don't work. They aren't that good. A pop-up, a little well-branded, well-crafted pop-up is 70% more effective, and they're free. So it's really what you should use. Content marketing is the last piece of this puzzle here. And content marketing is the Wikipedia definition. We've talked about this a lot. And this is really the part where we bring all this together. It goes kind of into everything we've spoken to. In fact, content is most likely how people are first going to interact with your brand. Doesn't matter if it's on an Instagram post, doesn't matter if it's somehow on a Facebook post or a blog or whatever. It's likely how they first came across your brand somehow. And by doing that, what you are putting out there is all they're going to know about you. So, I'll pick on Jeanette for a second. If I come across a piece of content, whether it's a video on YouTube or a TikTok or an Instagram or a Facebook or a blog or anything else, the only thing I know is what I'm going to see in that little bit of content. That's it. That's all I got. So it's got to be good. It's got to really do its part in this thing. It's got to engage me somehow. And again, going back to my hiking boot example, if I come across your YouTube and it's just videos of hiking boots, how many videos am I going to watch of hiking boots? I already have a set. I already have a pair of boots. I'm wearing it right now. How many videos of hiking boots am I going to watch? If I come across your Instagram page and I have those Allbirds tennis shoes, I know you have 1,500 pictures, but after I look through 4 or 5 pictures, am I just going to keep looking? I mean, at some point, do I just get tired of seeing shoes? There's nothing there to engage me or inspire me or resonate with me. There's nothing to excite me. There's nothing to make me feel like I want to share this, tell friends about it. There's nothing of value to me. There's nothing there to stimulate my interest other than products, which feels like buy my stuff, buy my stuff. There's a few things here that people do, and these are just a few ideas. There's an endless amount of ideas out there. And this is one of the most interesting and fun places to be because there's really no rules. We are in the era, kind of this golden heyday of content right now. In fact, TikTok and YouTube exist solely for content marketing. They are nothing but a platform that exists for content to be out there. Long form, short form, highly polished, very, very raw and basic. Anything goes, any type of creator, any type of content's out there. It's amazing stuff. But it's out there, and it just really depends on what kind you want to put out there to tell your story. This is Movement Watches again. Interesting thing about this, there's one word missing from this page. What word is missing? Watch. Yeah, they're a watch company, but they're not selling watches on here. This is all content. This is the perfect example of content marketing. Work hard, travel harder, right? Live every day like it's our last. They're talking about things that people who wear their watches would do and care about without talking about their watches. They're talking about hiking without talking about hiking boots. They're talking about, going out to eat without talking about the food. They're talking about things who people would care about without talking about the actual product itself. It's interesting, it's engaging, it's valuable without being salesy. If you can kind of strike that balance, it gives you an endless amount of things to start talking about. And the thing is, you have to kind of step back from your product. If you are selling wedding dresses, it's a tough one. Nobody wants to see 10,000 pictures of wedding dresses. But what else do brides care about? Step back a little bit from it. Brides are also in relationships. Brides are also planning honeymoons. Brides are also planning bachelorette parties. Brides are also dealing with friends and relationship issues and thinking about dinners and having family issues and maybe thinking about planning families and maybe thinking about moving and getting houses and furnishing houses and gifts and, losing weight to look good. It's all kinds of things, but you just have to step back a little ways from your actual product and think about the people using your product and think about that in terms of your content. What are those people who would use your product? What kind of content can you write about that in their lives? Influencers are things that people love to talk about. People get all excited about influencers. They get all worked up, all funny and exciting and, frothy and just crazy about influencers. The truth is, influencers don't have to be these big superstars. They don't have to be these big millionaires and celebrities and, all these big funny, rich people with billions of followers. They can be micro and macro influencers. They can be your neighbor. They can be your best friend. All an influencer really is, truthfully, is someone that your target audience is going to resonate with. Kim Kardashian has 1.7 gazillion followers, right? So maybe you want her to hawk your new fashion brand. Cool. The truth is 80% of her followers are male and less than 2% of her followers are actually active and engaged. So what are you really getting out of her 1.7 gazillion followers? Less than 2% of a bunch of guys. Do they want to buy your fashion brand? Probably not. It's not always what it seems. Sometimes finding a housewife who's just a stay-at-home mom or a school teacher who works a 9-to-5 job and has real struggles and has a couple thousand followers and just is a real person who people can really relate to. Sometimes it's a lot more valuable as an influencer and I'm someone to kind of interview like this in this case and just do a product ambassador, give them some product and share their story. Sometimes that's a lot more valuable than some big rich fashion person. If I was going to bring someone here into this group and talk right now, would you rather hear Kim Kardashian talk about how she started her business? Or would you rather hear someone who's a real person who talked about how they raised 2 kids and worked a 9-to-5 job while they started their own business, balanced home and life and school and work and all that stuff, and did it themselves, self-funded? It's not about the size of the followers and the popularity sometimes. It's about engagement. It's about connection and being who's going to resonate with your audience. As we get into these kinds of things like blogs, it's exactly the same. It's exactly the same kind of concept. What's valuable? Blogs don't have to be 5,000 words. They probably shouldn't be 5,000 words. Again, I don't know any of you and you don't know me. You come to my website. Would you ever want to read 5,000 words about a business written by someone that you've never heard of? Probably not. But a blog that is a top 3 tips to take care of your earrings, top 3 tips to make a small space seem larger. It's a 2-minute read. It's 3 bullet points that you could probably write in your sleep. And it's easy for me to share, easy for me to read, easy for me to digest. It's valuable. It's simple for me to, get up on Facebook and absorb it and all those kind of things. Those are great blogs sometimes. Your About Us page can be, showing your brand story. Sometimes are great blogs. Blogs don't have to be complicated. They just have to be consistent. And they always have to be valuable to the reader. Whatever you're doing, they have to be valuable to the reader. Nobody wants to read about, no offense, about you, unless it's sharing some kind of insight that they would care about. Why you got started, why they should support a woman-owned business, why it's important that we support small businesses or shop local or, things like that. That's valuable to people. But, no one necessarily wants to just hear your life story just for the sake of you telling it. You got to make sure it's valuable and it relates to people in your target audience. And you're making sure that you're thinking about things through that reader's eyes. That's what makes a blog valuable. Now, in terms of organic marketing, a blog is nothing but a giant balloon full of SEO keywords that floats around the internet forever and ever. I want to be respectful of everyone's time because I know we're getting right down to the wire here, but I lived in Cambodia for 3 years, and the only reason I got there was because of a Google search that connected me to a random blog that was not what I was searching for, but was able to give me the information I was looking for just because I stumbled across this random blog. It's out there, and once it's out there, it continues to bounce around forever, and it's an amazing tool. Everyone should be leaning into blogs. And of course, this time of year, gift guides, early shopping guides, sneak previews, these kind of things are also really good content. And of course, that's an easy time to sneak in one of your products, sneak in one of your friends' products, things like that. But it's an easy time. Content is a little easier this time of year because you get inside your gift guides, early guides for dad, top 10 gifts for mom, top 10 gifts for your sister, top 10 gifts for grandpa, whatever it may be. Easy time for shopping. And then last but not least, paid ads. This is the easiest one. We all know about this. We've all talked about this. The one thing I want to say, the one kind of thing I'll leave you all with paid ads is that paid ads are 100% strategic. They are there to not drive traffic, but they're there to accomplish a set goal. You are going to go into a paid ad to achieve something. I'm going to do this paid ad. I'm going to spend $50 and I'm going to do it for 5 days and get 500 followers. It's there for something that is purposeful and strategic. It's not just, I don't have any traffic to my site. I'm just going to throw $500 out there and hopefully this is going to work out. That's not really how paid ads are supposed to work. That's a nice side effect that sometimes happens, and people can be disappointed when it doesn't work out that way, but truthfully, that is just a side effect. If you're spending money on advertising or marketing, there's an ROI factor to it. It's an investment, and you have to think about it as an investment. There should be a goal in mind. There should be a purpose. And if you're not thinking of it that way, please stop spending that money for a minute, step back and think about what is it you're trying to accomplish with that money. If you're trying to get more traffic, cool. What kind of traffic? How much traffic? How are you going to measure that traffic? Where's it coming from? Set some goals in place and let's think about it. We all know how Facebook works. We all understand Instagram and algorithms and all these different aspects to it, but you can't use it to just funnel traffic in as just a generic source of traffic to a website. It's not really how it works.
Chris, we are out of time. Did you want to share your contact information?
I'm actually just copying and pasting that in there right now.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah.
For those of you who want to continue your learning, and first of all, let me say thank you. It was just a beautiful presentation, and I really appreciated how you pulled all of it together. It really was a well-rounded understanding of marketing, so thank you for that. So for those of you who are interested in learning more about money, we have a lot of webinars coming up for you that are money related. We have part 3 about video, which is not money related. But part 3, that's been a really popular one. If you want to see parts 1 and 2, they are on our YouTube channel. And then on the 21st, we have Excel with Excel. If you want to do a budget in Excel or even track your expenses, you can do that. And that is for beginners, that one. On the 25th, we have the good credit report recipe to help you understand all about credit and your credit report. And How Money Works is a 2-part series in November. Thank you all for coming. If you need anything, you know where to reach us. I recognize all of you, so it's nice to see you today. Have a good day and have a good weekend. Bye.